heroes together. You in? Let's go do something crazy.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. It looks like Marvel is bringing back some of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters finally. Everybody's been asking when Chloe Bennet is going to come back as Quake. What are they going to do with the Coulson character? Will they ever bring him back? They kind of already did. I'll explain that. And what's going on with their version of Ghost Rider, just because they were hyping him up. He had his own spin-off series that they were about to roll camera on. Literally, they had finished pre-production on that before they got canceled. Like a lot of you, when it comes to all these TV actors coming back, I always kind of felt like it was a when, not if kind of scenario. Like, long enough timeline, everybody will eventually come back at some point. Like they just had a big formal announcement where they brought her out on stage with Charlie Cox during the upfronts to hype up her during Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So it just seems like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters are the next step in them bringing back a lot of these classic TV actors. So we'll break it all down. There's a lot of questions about how they're going to incorporate canon from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's a little bit different with the Marvel Netflix series, and the powers that be at Marvel did start to address this issue of canon during the Echo series when we started to see more and more of the characters coming back. Like you saw during the Hawkeye series with Kingpin coming back first, and then Charlie Cox coming back as his Daredevil during Spider-Man No Way Home. So if you remember the way that those shows and through Daredevil Born Again addressed the Daredevil Netflix canon, the Defenders canon, with them slowly rolling all those characters back in, like Punisher coming back, and then explaining what happened to him during the 5-year time jump, it'll probably be similar for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters that do wind up coming back. But here's where we actually get to the first part, like who is coming back, what's coming back, what are they doing? Recently, you probably saw people posting rumors and reports, announcements about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters coming back. The characters they're talking about specifically are Chloe Bennet's Quake, Clark Gregg's Phil Coulson, the one that we saw at the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There have been a couple different versions of Phil Coulson that he played during that series, and Ming-Na Wen's Agent May. When it comes to Fitz and Simmons, Mac, Yo-Yo, those other characters, I don't know about them coming back. Never say never, but they're just talking about the main big 3 characters right now coming back.
Be careful out there.
If you lost track of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by the time they hit the end of their run in 2019, it was around the time that Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame were coming out, and Kevin Feige had taken control of Marvel TV, which previously had been run by Jeff Loeb, which had a completely different plan for the future of Marvel TV than Kevin Feige had when he rebooted everything into the Disney Plus era of all the Marvel TV shows under Marvel Studios. This is why all the older Marvel TV series were getting canceled around that period, like Daredevil got canceled on Netflix, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all canceled, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canceled. They gave them like the nice run out, like, we're letting you end in a nice way. But really what was going on is they were winding down all those shows, canceling everything, because Kevin Feige was going to go forward with a brand new type of creative, a brand new way of them doing the TV shows and tying them to the movies. There are a lot of other TV shows too on other networks, like you had Cloak and Dagger, you had the Runaways TV series on Hulu, you had the MODOK TV series, there was even Hellstrom. Yes, remember Hellstrom? Early on when Kevin Feige was launching Disney Plus Marvel stuff with all the Marvel Phase 4 TV series like WandaVision, the Loki series, like early series, Marvel basically fired all the people that were working on their TV series, and Marvel TV as an entity ceased to exist. Funny what happens, several years later, everything that old is new again. They basically found out that it was complete chaos and they were not good at making TV series. Like the Marvel movie people were not good at making TV series. So they hired back a lot of the people who made the original TV series, made them good. Best example of that was the very, very troubled production during Daredevil Born Again Season 1, where basically the old creative got fired and they brought back a lot of the people that actually made the Netflix series. They wound up cobbling together a Frankenstein Daredevil Born Again Season 1, which is why Season 1 feels so uneven, but they're completely doing Season 2, so it sounds like it will be quality again now. But essentially, Kevin Feige's big plan for fixing all their TV series right now was to basically bring back all the people that made the really good stuff back in the day. So that's basically why you saw them canonizing Daredevil Netflix stuff and then slowly rolling in everything else too. Like they were starting with the most quality, like the tip of the iceberg, like the best, and then slowly bringing back all the fan favorite stuff. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was just on that list. It was just lower on the list than say like Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Then there's the fact that people like Chloe Bennet are still extremely young. Like, she could play the Quake character for like the next 50 years and still be younger than a lot of the current Marvel actors that are coming back as their characters during Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, like all the classic X-Men actors coming back from those movies.
Oh, it's a match.
Oh, that's creepy, isn't it?
If you lost track of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters, you don't remember what happened to them at the end of their series, they basically gave them the ride off into the sunset, explained that they were off having their own adventures, so they could come back anytime they wanted. Like, nobody got fridged at the end of that series, basically. Chloe Bennet's Quake, Daisy, went off exploring the cosmos, Agents of S.W.O.R.D. style. They actually wound up canonizing S.W.O.R.D. to the MCU during the WandaVision series. It still exists as an organization, even though they actually had their own come-to-Jesus moment during that series. It's not like Captain America Winter Soldier where they completely destroyed the S.H.I.E.L.D. organization inside the MCU. S.W.O.R.D. still exists inside the MCU. Quake wound up going off to explore the cosmos with Agent Sousa from the Agent Carter series. That's right, Agent Carter, if you remember that TV series. Coulson went through a couple different jumps for them to explain how he could come back after he was killed during the original Avengers movie. Like, first he became a life model decoy, then he became other alternate versions of the character. Basically, it was a version of that original Coulson coming back with his consciousness. He wound up taking a very, very well-deserved long break to go off and explore the world just in general. So like, he's still out just traveling around the world in his special car. Agent May became a professor at the S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy in their version of Earth. The way they explained their version of Earth, too, is that it was an alternate timeline from the main MCU, even though originally S.H.I.E.L.D. did start out in the exact same MCU as the movies. They eventually got to the point where the canon became so hard for them to tie to what was happening with the movies, and there were so many restrictions that they just basically moved them into an alternate timeline, which is where you get into a lot of the original MCU plans to do Avengers 5 as Kang Dynasty, with the Council of Kangs, all the different timelines, what was happening during the Loki series, in Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror. The really big villain group of that final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were Chronicoms, who were basically time-traveling robots that they could have tied to the Council of Kangs. It would have been really, really easy to do that in Marvel's original plan. Obviously, that all got thrown out the window when they fired Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, and they brought back Robert Downey Jr. as a version of Doctor Doom, and they're doing Avengers Doomsday now as Avengers 5 in a different version of Secret Wars. The entire saving grace of all that mess is Secret Wars, basically a movie that's really easy to explain how characters show up from the multiverse. So they can basically just say that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters either were always inside the MCU and it'll still make sense, or they could just say they come from another universe and they wind up in Secret Wars because of what happens with the multiverse collapsing in the more recent Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars run, which seems like they're adapting parts of for the actual movies. So at least right now, it sounds like they're bringing Quake, Coulson, and May back for cameo scenes in Secret Wars, but it's also possible that they bring them back again for future MCU TV series after the big soft reboot that they're doing on the MCU, where basically they bring back a lot of different elements, they tune their backstories, they recast people that they want to recast, and going forward, everybody's always going to have existed on the main version of the MCU Earth 616, but it'll more closely resemble the comic book 616 universe, where everybody from all these different character groups like X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Avengers characters have always existed together, and nobody thinks it's weird, and they don't need any special explainers like, why didn't the Fantastic Four help out during the final battle in Avengers Endgame? Why weren't the Eternals around during that period? What was going on with all the continuity on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with them jumping around to different realities? They don't need to explain any of that anymore. Like, they just sweep it under the rug with a soft reboot. Really easy way to fix a lot of that stuff. When it comes to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters like Quake, for example, very space-based character, very sci-fi-based character. She can do a lot of ground-level stuff, but just in general, it seems like she'd be doing more space-based stuff. They could put her on Nick Fury's space station that we saw during the Marvels movie. She could be doing stuff there on missions with Monica Rambeau, but also there's the upcoming Nova TV series that they're still planning on doing after Secret Wars now. Originally, it was going to be before Secret Wars, but now they've just delayed it till after because it's not like a real big multiverse type of movie. So Marvel essentially wants to speed run through Secret Wars, so anything that is not connected to Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars basically got delayed or canceled, which is why there was such a bloodbath with their Marvel Phase 6 schedule in the past couple of days. Like, you heard about them delaying Avengers Doomsday, delaying Secret Wars. All the other stuff that got delayed or canceled was just because they're so focused on getting through Secret Wars in this soft reboot. So all like real big stuff that does sound really promising just got delayed till after Secret Wars. Another really good example of this is the upcoming X-Men movie that they're doing, which is basically like their big priority after they get done with Secret Wars. They said that the new era of Marvel is generally focusing on 3 big concepts: X-Men or mutants, cosmic stories, and supernatural characters like Ghost Rider, Midnight Suns, that type of stuff.
I don't like you.
You never did.
Personally, I think Chloe Bennett's Quake, those characters coming back eventually, owe a lot to the success of Daredevil coming back. Because had that not have gone well, like had it gone way worse, I mean, it was kind of a mixed bag with a lot of the Daredevil Born Again Season 1 episodes, but had it been really bad, Marvel probably would have pivoted on that again too, like, oh no, we shouldn't bring back all those classic TV actors. You could definitely tell that Matt Murdock, a really good lawyer, has been negotiating new contracts for all these TV actors to come back. When it comes to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's a little bit more complicated, though, because of everything that was happening with the Inhumans and what Marvel is doing right now with all the X-Men and mutant characters. But everyone, let me know in the comments, which other Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters do you want to see come back in different ways, in cameo scenes or in bigger ways? There's just a lot of opportunities for this during Secret Wars, even if it's just going to be a background cameo scene with like 1 or 2 lines, or like them in a big crowd shot. There are also a lot of opportunities to slot in some of these characters into future Marvel TV series as well too. In related news, there's a bunch of stuff happening this weekend because it's Mexico Comic-Con and Netflix is to do. So whatever big trailers they wind up releasing, of course I will do videos about that, but we'll probably get footage for a bunch of different things the next couple days. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. Click here for that brand new Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer with Jessica Jones, and click here for my brand new Spider-Man Brand New Day Hulk announcement. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.